Hello, hello, and welcome to another live coaching. How is your week? How is your week? Did you sail? Hey, Greg. Hi, Greg is cooking. Greg is going to come to Cape Town. We have a Cape Town masterclass happening the 22 of January to the 28th of January. It's almost full, but not completely full. So there still are a few spaces left. I'm finalizing the details for the course, and I will send out more information to everyone who is accepted. If you've been accepted, you should have received an email, and I will send out more info very, very soon. And as well to the rest of you guys, if you want to join, fill those last couple spots. Did you sail this weekend? This week at York? Hola, Axel. Axel's in Tarifa. So I've been recovering from my head injury. Where's my little scar? Yeah, I've got a nice little scar now. You guys heard the story already last week or 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure when that was. And the waves have been really big on Maui. If you're on social media, maybe you've seen the Jaws footage that's come out from the last couple days. And I just haven't felt comfortable because my head still hurts. Uh, really charging. And so I went out one day at Hokipa, but it was like mast and a half high, and I just felt not that comfortable. I still had some pain. I sailed for like 20 minutes, came back in. Yesterday, though, I went to a spot that normally we do photo shoots at called Secrets in Sprecklesville, Baby Beach. And it's on the inside. And so the swells, they hit the outer reefs, and then they're quite a bit dissipated by the time they get to the inside, so maybe only like head high. And I had a lot of fun getting my confidence back, getting back in the water, coming back from this injury. I think it's really important when you are injured or have some kind of moment that then shakes your confidence to build it back up gradually. So for me, it was really important going out where it was head high rather than mast and a half. And yeah, just getting back in that groove felt really important. I had a fun session. Looks windy again today. I'll probably get out there as well. Uh, all right, Axel's been getting out in the flat water. Hey, Matt. Matt says no wind but cold, but you've had some conditions, Matt, in the last few weeks. Suna, hello, Suna. Stormy on a 3-4. Steve in Ireland. Ireland was firing on Wednesday. Nice. Feedback. Did you post in the group? If you posted in the group, we will get to your questions or footage. You still have time too. You could still post in the Facebook group. The link is up there. And then, yes, we will go over whatever you've posted. G. Luke, why did I stop wearing a helmet? I stopped wearing a helmet after I had an injury to my face. So I hit my boom head in Oregon. I was on the Oregon coast and riding this spot called Pistol River, which is a really fun spot if you're ever in Oregon. I think we have a few people who regularly show up to the chat who sail in Oregon. And Pistol River is really fun. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's near Gold Beach, this little quiet town. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful coast. And there's a tidal range there that changes. So on outgoing tide, the wave on the inside can get quite sucky. And it was one of those times. And I hit the lip, but then kind of came around and hit the bottom and stopped. And my face went into the boom head. And I knocked out some teeth. So this is a fake tooth. And I had a bit of a dilemma after that. I still wore my helmet after that, but I was like, all right, how do I protect myself? And the other problem with the Gaff helmets that I was using at that time, so helmets have changed now actually, but back at that time, Gaff was sort of the only surf helmet, and it was not actually made for impact. It's made for um, puncture or lacerations. So the Gaff helmets, they don't have foam that's designed for impact. It's more to protect you from sharp rocks and reef. Now, helmet design has changed, and there are good impact helmets that exist now for windsurfing and for water sports. But those gaffs that were the main surf helmet for years were not designed for that. And so anyway, so then I was thinking, okay, how do I protect my face? And the conclusion I came to was the only way to really protect myself was to stop doing radical stuff, and I didn't want to do that. And so the helmet felt like a false sense of security, that it protected me a little bit, but not a lot. And I became just sort of disillusioned with the helmet. But I'm not against helmets at all. Just for me, it stopped making sense to wear it. Whereas before that, it's something that always made me feel safer and willing to push more. And that, yeah, that disappeared after that injury. And the other thing with the helmets is with jumping, sometimes they can kind of tweak your neck because you have more surface area. So then when you're hitting the water from high up, uh, your head isn't sinking as much. You can get kind of tweaked on your neck. But otherwise, I'm into helmets. I have a lot of helmets. Maybe I'll start sailing with a helmet again if I feel like it'll boost my confidence again. Then I'll wear it. All right, Steve is going to post in the group. We've got Jeff in the chat. Hey, Jeff. So Jakob had a good windy session in Denmark this week. Nice. Tomas. Yeah, I was missing a tooth at that event. Yep, exactly. All right, I'm going to load up the Facebook group, and let's just get into it. All right. Here we are. Let's refresh the page. All right. New posts. All right, so first up, we have a question from Jakob about high wind tips. This autumn, the weather in Denmark has been strange, either no wind at all or nuking. The last 3 sessions have been on my 3-2 sail, and I've been struggling and overpowered. So are there any good tips for handling wave sailing in high speed? Maybe from our Pozo friends. Good idea. The bottom turn can be handled by opening the clew aggressively, but I often completely wipe out in the top turn. Tried the back loop, but landed on top of my sail. Considered doing a front loop, but the whole thing just seemed crazy. So, yeah, high wind, depending how high wind it is, can be survival. And I think it's important to match your level of intensity and your level of intention with what the conditions allow. And sometimes, if it's really crazy wind gusting to 60 knots, you might just be surviving. And the goal for the day is getting out and back and just catching waves, not even riding them, because it's so intense in the conditions. And so looking at what other people doing is, I think, a good gauge of what's possible. And then you have to define for yourself what your intentions are and what your goals are. But getting a mark from other people can be really helpful. You know, if you see no one is able to ride waves, no one is really able to jump because it's so windy, then take that into account when you're setting your own expectations for the day. But otherwise, how can we have more control when it's really strong? Having a wider grip on the boom, whether you're going out, whether you're riding a wave, is going to give you a lot more control and make those high wind conditions feel a lot more manageable. So wide grip on the boom is key in those conditions. For rigging your sail, you know, a lot of downhaul, as much outhaul is comfortable. If you outhaul too much, your sail is going to end up really off and on, and that can make it even harder in those windy conditions. But I like a lot of downhaul and a decent amount of outhaul. And then in terms of your mast track, some people like to put the mast track back. Some people like to put it forward. I like to keep the mast track forward when it's really, really high wind like that because it keeps the nose down on the board. As well, you want to make sure your fins are not too small so they're not sliding around. Hey, Nicolas. Good to see you. All right, but I want to hear other tips from people too. So if we have other tips, I would love to hear it. Yeah, so Axel's saying that backside riding seems easier than frontside riding in high winds. Totally agree with that. So you can stick to backside riding. That's a really good point from Axel. All right. Andre Bode is working on the forward loops. And so he's a little bit stuck, he says, and he's not progressing anymore. So he's committed to improving, and the pictures below show 3 attempts. He has had better attempts, but the other ones felt like a real rotation with no water start possibility. When he does his attempts, it always goes so fast, and he cannot say afterwards what parts of the move did what and what he forgot to do. So from the photos, it looks like he puts his backhand back, and the front leg is more or less straight while the back leg is bent. On the other side, it looks he's looking at the sail and 0 over the shoulder. All right, let's look at the picture. So going from the ramp, launching, nose is hitting. Another one, nose is hitting. Okay, so the two main things that I see is one is you really want to look over that shoulder, and that will help you with slowing it down because when you're not looking, it feels really fast. And when you're looking where you're going, it slows down that rotation, right? So looking over that shoulder in the direction that you're rotating is going to slow it down. It's going to help you rotate more horizontally. It's going to help you just rotate more, period. And then it's also going to give you more control and understanding throughout that whole process. So looking over that shoulder is really underrated. I think even though that's something that people say a lot, is it's really underrated. The second thing, and actually there's 3 big points, but the second thing is you're just pulling the sail into you. And so often when people talk about forward loops, they talk about just sheeting in. And so I understand why people pull the sail in, but that's actually not what you want to be doing. What you want to be doing is more of a twist. And so you're using your whole torso, upper body, arms, everything to twist that sail. So you're pushing with the front hand and pulling with the back hand, and you're twisting your torso to do it. It's a really forceful feeling of a move. It's like you have a fulcrum maybe around where your harness lines are or a little bit back from the harness lines, and you're trying to rotate the sail around that point. So you're really pushing with that front hand and pulling with the back hand. You're not just pulling with both hands, because if you're pulling with both hands, you're not going to get the ideal rotation. The third point is the nose of the board is hitting very soon. And so if you get a little bit more height, that's going to help you. And so you can do that by taking off on a bigger ram, or by really exaggerating the takeoff body position. You want to go from small to tall to ball. So you're going small as you're going up to the ramp. You're pushing off the ramp, going into an X with your body, and then, excuse me, and then tucking up to a ball. Ooh, this, I already watched this one. This one looks gnarly. Look at this. I don't know what the story is behind it. Looks gnarly. If you are in the US, also if you're not in the US, I don't know how this works if you're not in the US, but it should also work. I don't know how the shipping is. You can get 15% discount at Adventure Sports. So they sell Dakine, they sell a lot of different windsurfing equipment, other kinds of equipment, and use my code Ezzy15 to get 15% off. It's great for Christmas or holidays or whatever else. So they set that up with me, and you guys can take advantage of it. Eric with a little revelation about how big a difference it makes when you have that really wide grip when you're wave riding. So much control. totally agree. Hello, Ragnar. Here, hold on, guys. I'm just gonna. All right, I'm back. Back. So Gianluca is looking for a communication device, and these are advertised as water sport, snowboarding communication systems. I reached out to someone I know who has some, and they said, we tried them, but we're not too happy about the volume as it was low when on the water. I use the BB talking system, which is a lot bulkier than this, but it works surprisingly well for communicating on the water. So it's BB Talkin is the system if you want a system for communicating while you're on the water. All right, here is the survey for Cape Town. So this is already done. Survey is done, but there are a few spots left for the course. It's going to be January 22nd to 28th. Oops, just banged my table. Ooh. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. There's more details that are going to come out soon. All right, let's refresh this. See if we got a new post. Is there a new post? Nope. So I think that is kind of it. You guys have any other questions? I'll just sort of talk about what's going on with me while we see if you guys have any questions. So I stayed in Hawaii a little bit longer. I think last week Sunday I said I would be in Europe next time we see each other. I decided to stay another week. I'm going back to Europe on Tuesday for sure this time. And so next Sunday I will be in Europe. I'll see you there. More info about the Cape Town Masterclass will be sent to the people who have been accepted. If you've been accepted, you have received an email. And then if you want to apply, there are some spots left. I'll send out a link for that. We could use the same application. Possibly I'll modify it and we could use that same application, or I'll create a new one. Kind of doesn't matter, but I will make an announcement about that in the group. And yeah, what else? Oh, the Adventure Sports discount. So if you're looking to buy new gear or equipment, accessories, you can use that link and my code to get 15% off. You can find that in the group. All right, we got a question. He had a great session on Thursday with lots of wind, small but clean waves, and still quite warm temperature. He used new fins for the first time, and they really transformed the board. Awesome. What board and what fins? Matt's asking if I have any footage of my last session. I do have a little bit of footage. Let me see if I can load it up. They're big files. I did a post on Instagram with it a little bit more edited. Let me see. Let me see if this works here. Is that playing for you guys? This is just a little inside small. Like I said, I've been trying to turn off my attention. So I was just looking to have a fun session, just getting confidence back. It wasn't really much more, and I wanted to get some footage as well for the coaching at the same time. So I organized someone to film, and yeah, just kind of a little bit playful. I was alone. The wind was a little bit funky, and so I wasn't I wasn't planing all the time. I thought I would be jumping, but that wasn't the case. And then the waves were really inconsistent as well, which made it a little bit it wasn't like the best session of my life at all, but it was exactly what I needed. I just wanted something to get my confidence back, feel my gear, feel my body, because I had a session a few days before at Hokipa, and it was yeah, mast and a half, and I just was not confident. It just didn't feel good with my head. I still had some pain in my head, and I wasn't comfortable going for it. And so I needed a session like this just to sort of my uh, feel my gear, feel my body, just get into it again. And yeah, it was exactly what I needed. I just wanted to have some have some fun, and I wanted to get some footage for the coaching. I'm not sure I actually did that, so I wanted to get some like backside riding footage and some other things that you guys have been requesting. Uh, I tried to do a little bit of that, but the conditions ended up not being great for it, so I didn't. Uh, you can see this lee side riding is such a good exercise to do. Helps you with your tacks, help you with your wave understanding. It's if you're making, let's say, 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10 tacks, that's an exercise that you can start doing. This one, I'm so late. This is such a like my timing is so bad, but you can see that because I'm getting the high five, that angle of the board, right? That angle, the bottom of the board is faced so that the power of the wave hits it square on. Uh, I'm able to make it. You can see on the outside reef, the waves are huge. Really, really big swell. Some in between moments. It's a funky little spot. It's not somewhere that I would normally sail. Normally, it's a place where I would do photo shoots or something else. Mainly just photo shoots, actually. Maybe some jump training, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun to get out there, and it was sort of the only place where it wasn't massive. So there's a little backside sequence. I really liked the feeling of doing this, where you go from a backside into a frontside. All right, not this one, but here, this wave that's coming up. So backside into a frontside, and you can just sort of carry that back and forth energy. It's pretty fun to do. It's another exercise that everyone can work on. At one point, the waves sort of started disappearing, getting a little bit weird. Yeah, cutbacks with the backhand off, also really good exercise, like we just saw here. I was a little bit late on that one. You can see it's a bit of a strange wave. It's not the easiest wave to read. A bit of backside riding. I think this was about the point that I decided to end the session because felt like the waves that were good that had been coming in earlier just were not coming in anymore. Hey, Max. So Max has had some good sessions. Different geometry in the setups have felt weird, cold. Yeah, getting a new board is always a mission. You have to spend, in my opinion, a lot of time working on the fins, foot strap position, mass track position to get it all right. It's definitely very rare to get a board where you just set it and forget it. Often a new board is really a process. I have that with all my new boards. There I am telling the camera guy I'm done. All right, yeah, there's my footage. All right, guys, I am going to sign off. I think I'll get in the water today. It looks windy and probably still wavy. Who knows where I'll sail? Maybe Hokipa's good. Hokipa was just too big yesterday. I mean, I think there was one person sailing, but it's really more survival than anything else. Yeah, Max, and what I really recommend is playing with it. So coming in every half hour of your session, making some small adjustments, really feeling how that changes the board. What you don't want to do is just sort of try to muscle through it. Like, oh, it feels different. I'm going to muscle through it. And sometimes different is really good. And then you adjust to it. And then it is something that you love. But also, you want to play with it early on, play with the stress, play with the mass track, play with all of those settings, and then figure out what feels best to you. And then explore it from there. All right, with that, I'm going to sign off. I'll see you all next week, Sunday. Post your questions, comments, footage, videos, all of the above in the Facebook group. I'll see you in the Facebook group and next week, Sunday. Take care, everyone.